Okay, so there's a little problem with forms in Framer. If you just have them like this on your site, you just have like, I don't know, 3 fields here. You're asking for email, name, and job title. You know, people might not fill this form out because they're a little bit overwhelmed with all the questions you're asking them, and they just leave. Well, I think I figured out a little trick that solved this. So basically, you can, go and just break this up into 2 steps. But that's not really enough, because even if you break this up into 2 steps, people might go to the second step and they're like, oh, so you're asking me more questions. I don't care. I'm not gonna finish, applying or submitting the form. Now, with this smart little trick I'm about to show you, you actually get their email once they go to the next step. So they already type in their email, and in fact, I already received it. Let me show you here in my emails. I already received the submission, and if I continue submitting this, like Nandi and job title is, let's say, founder, apply now, you're gonna see that if I go to my emails now, I'm going to have another submission here, and they are connected with a little ID. So yeah, in this video, I'll show you how to do this inside of Framer without writing a single line of code, just by utilizing Framer's no-code capabilities. My name is Nandi, this is Framer University, and let's get started. So, as you can see, I'm right inside of Framer, and if you go to the description, you're gonna find a remix link, and if you remix the project on the left, you're gonna go to starter, and you're gonna basically see the same thing as I'm seeing here, and you can just start building with me. So I'm gonna go to the tutorial page because I'm gonna be building here, and yeah, let's just take a quick look at how this works in the background. It's really simple, by the way, so yeah, you're gonna see. So basically you can see that the starting point of this little tutorial is that we have just a single form on our canvas with all the fields that we want to include. Now, you might be asking, how did I get here? Well, it's really simple. I just went to the insert panel on the top left and I searched for form builder, and basically you just drag this in and you have a form here. So basically that's all I did, and I customized each field a little bit and the submit button as well, but basically that's it. So now the question is, how do we break this up into 2 steps, and then how do we make sure that when the first step is like completed, we already get the email? And you might be also asking, like, why is it good for us? Well, it's because if the person hasn't completed the full form, we still have their email, and we can follow up with them and stuff like that, and just, tell them that, hey, maybe you should complete this form or whatever. So yeah, that's why it's a little bit of a smart trick. So let's see how we do this. Basically, the trick is that we have to wrap our form in a component, and even the form, you can see we have step 1, and then within this form stack, we're gonna have step 2. So we just duplicate this form, and this is the frame that we get when we go to form builder and we drag this in. I just renamed this to step 1 in this case. So now I just duplicated this step 1. Now we have step 1 twice. We can just rename this to step 2. And yeah, on step 2, we're gonna basically just have the other questions. So the first one will have the email, so we can delete job title and name here. And then step 2 will have the name and the job title. So now we have something like this. And basically what we want to do is we want to kind of like be a bit tricky, right? We want to make sure that here the submit button is actually saying next, right? So what this is going to say is next. So the user thinks that they are going to the next step, but in reality, they are already submitting a form, right? So yeah, that's the bit of a trick here. So the field color will be, a little bit darker, right? So something like this could work. And so that's it for this. And yeah, the next step here, we can already just rename this to like apply now. Apply now. Great, cool. So here on the first step, we can just hide step 2 by setting it to visible no. And by the way, make sure that both of these steps have the send to property configured. That's how you can make sure that, you know, when they click the submit button, the actual information goes somewhere. Right now, it's just a, you know, email send to, so we'll get an email, but yeah, you can set up webhooks and stuff like that, so you can get like more crazy with these setups. So now we have step 2, and let's just create step, actually that's step 1. Let's create step 2. Just gonna be a new variant here. And here we disable, so we just set visibility to no on step 1, and the step 2 form will now appear. So now again, the user still thinks that they are just like typing in information in a single form, but now we are showcasing the second form at this point. So that's it, I think. We don't really have to do anything else here. Maybe we just create like the success state here, where we essentially remove these two by setting their visibility to no. And yeah, that's basically it. Also here on the first steps form, the submit button doesn't need a success state, it just needs loading, because then, you know, we're gonna switch on to step 2. And yeah, maybe we want to have a little bit of a like a step counter on the top. So I have a resource. If you go to SVG animation or step, yeah, animated step counter is the name. So you can see I already created this little resource here. You can remix it, see how it works. But yeah, basically we're going to be using this at the top of this little component. So let me find it here on the assets panel. You can basically do the same, go to the assets on the left, and then just drag it in. Steps main, probably this is the one, yeah. We're gonna just paste this within here. I'm gonna move it to the top, and I'll set the width to fill. And I'll just adjust the variants here on different variants. So you can see on step 1, the steps mains variant is variant 1. Here it's gonna be variant 2. And on the success state, it's gonna be variant 3. Perfect. So that's all. Now we can kind of just see how it works, right? So I'm gonna go here and let's type in some information. So Nandi, then we're gonna click next. Okay, so it's loading, but nothing really happened. And that's because we still have to like set up a few interactions to make sure that when we click next and this first form is successfully submitted, we go to the next step. So that's what we have to like fix here. So basically on the first variant, we just select the first form, which is called step 1 here on the layers panel. And we just have to like grab it, this little connector, and connect to step 2. And it's gonna be on success. So when this form here is successfully submitted, we will go to step 2, where we reveal the next form, right? And so when this step 2 form is also successfully submitted, we're gonna go to the success variant, which will basically show the success state of this button. So we'll be in touch soon. So now we can again give it a go, see how it works. Okay, so now as you can see, I click the next, and now I'm on the second step of this form, where, you know, we're seeing the second form. And so Nandi is gonna be written here, and maybe founder, apply now. And as you can see, it says we'll be in touch soon. Now we can also go to the emails just to see what we received as submissions. So you can see we have the email, nandi@gmail.com, and we also have the name and the job title. And you can see there is a little bit of a drawback of this little trick, because the submissions will be coming in like, it's not going to be one email, it's going to be 2 separate emails. So if you have like a bunch of submissions, you might be finding it a little bit hard to navigate which one is connected to which one. And for this, I have a little trick, which I'm going to show you, because you can see here we have this ID, and yeah, we're going to add this little ID, and with the help of the ID, we'll be able to connect the two submissions. But before we do that, I just want to do one more optimization, because what I don't really like is that when I type in my email and go to next, I kind of want the name to be already like focused or highlighted like this, so I can already like start typing in, so I don't have to like click into it and, you know, start typing. So the way I can do that is I can just select the second step here on the primary, and then go to this input and just add on the right panel autofocus yes, and that's basically it. So now if we type in the email and we go to the next step, as you can see, it's already highlighted, so I don't even have to touch my touchpad or the mouse, and I can start typing in, which is really good. But now let's add that ID, which basically connects the two emails that we receive. So in order to do that, we go back inside of the component, and then inside of step 1, we're gonna just copy this input here, basically what we use for the email, and then we're gonna paste it here. So as you can see, we now have an additional input here, and I'm gonna just have this on text. So the type will be text, the name will be ID. So this is what we will see on, like, you know, in the email here, ID. And then the value will be given here, and we can actually just remove the placeholder. So the value here will be an ID, which is already created, so we just have to connect this variable. And you can see if we go to the component variables here, it's just a text field that I already created, and it just has a default value. This doesn't really matter. But you might be like, okay, this is great, but people are going to be seeing this? No, they're not going to be seeing this. This is going to be a hidden field that they don't see. But for now, let's just keep it in a way that you can see it, because I think it will help a little bit just in understanding what it actually does. So for now, let's just keep it like this. Copy this input and also put it within step 2. So basically both of them will have the same ID. So yeah, they are connected essentially. So now if we go back, we get this ID on the right that we can customize. So basically whatever I type in here on the right will be added inside of this input, because we have that value prop on the input's right panel. And our goal would be here to have unique identifiers for each user who lands on the site and types in some information here. So obviously, if I set something here like ID 999, this is not really gonna work, because each and every submission will have this fixed ID. So what we do instead is we use Framer's fetch feature. So if I click here and go add fetch, I can just, you know, use an API that generates a unique ID. So you might be asking like, oh God, like API and stuff, that sounds really complicated, but it isn't. You just have to do a Google search and you'll be good. So I already done that. So yeah, you can just go to the description and find this GitHub link. So basically this is just a ID generator. You can actually just try it out by copying this link and pasting it into your browser, and you're gonna see it will always return. Hopefully it's going to load today because I'm recording this tutorial now and I want this to work, which seems like it's not working. I don't know why, honestly. So let me just go back here, open this again. Okay, something is clearly off, which I don't really understand. So, okay, so maybe we're just gonna wait a little bit. Okay, so maybe now it's gonna work. I'm gonna just, again, paste this link into my browser. I was just trying it out, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But let me just try opening it again a few times, and hopefully it will work. But yeah, on the site, I think it will work most of the time. Yeah, as you can see now, if we just go to this link, it will always return like an ID, which is unique. So if we reload this, you can see that this ID is changing. I don't know why it's not loading. As you can see, it's just loading on the top. Maybe it's my connection, I have no idea. But yeah, now you can see it's changed. But yeah, basically we just have to copy this link. Sorry for messing around for too long. And yeah, you just go to this fetch, you paste this link in, and then here on the path, you just select the ID, which is again, hopefully going to show up really, really soon. Okay, so I basically waited a little bit, and I also typed in HTTPS, like before the link, and now it seems to be working. So I'm just gonna connect the ID here. And as you can see, we basically have the ID here inside of this ID field, which is really, really great. And hopefully if we preview this, yeah, as you can see, each and every time we'll get a unique ID. If I reload this, as you can see, it's always changing. And yeah, thankfully the fetching works perfectly. Sometimes, as you can see, it's a little bit slow. I'm not too sure if this is because of my connection or this free like API that I found is not perfect. I don't know. But yeah, you can maybe just do your own research and maybe find another one that works better. But yeah, basically, that's it. And so what we want to do is we want to hide this field. We don't want people to see it. So we're going to go to the input, select this. We can actually rename this to ID so we can see that this is the ID, and just select both of them. And on the right, we add the hidden and we just set it to yes. And that's basically it. Users will not see that it's there, but in the submissions, the ID will show up and we can connect the two emails from the submissions. So I think that's it. Maybe we can do one more optimization. We can go here and we can add the fallback. So if the ID is not generating, we can just, by the way, sorry. So I just went here back to the component. And so here I'm clicking this fetch. And so I just want to add like a fallback. So when an ID is not generated, we still see something here. So I can just go like ID was not generated. Something like that. And that's basically it. So now if we publish this site, we can finally give it a final test and see how it works. So I open it up. I will type in my email here and then my name. And I'll select the job title. And if I click apply now, it says we'll be in touch soon. Really good. Let's go to my emails and see what we received. So as you can see, here is the first email, nandi@gmail.com. Here we have the ID, and then we have the other email, which basically contains information from the second step, name, job title, and it has the same ID, so we can nicely connect the two together and we can know that, okay, these two are connected. Now, usually if you're getting not so many submissions, it shouldn't be a problem to connect the two because probably it's going to be really close to each other like in time. But if you have like a high volume of submissions, it might be beneficial adding this little ID property. So yeah, basically that's it for this little forms trick. I really do hope that it was helpful, and yeah, I hope that you can implement this maybe on your site or on your client site. And yeah, basically that's it. If you have any questions about this, make sure to drop a comment, or if you have maybe a better service for generating these little IDs, make sure to also comment about that. And also check out Framer.university because I have a bunch of free tutorials, components, resources, scroll animations, and a whole bunch of other things. So if you just go and check out the resources section here, you're gonna find over 500 free Framer resources. So yeah, if you're a Framer user or you're learning Framer, it's probably gonna be a great resource for you. So yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure to like it, subscribe for more, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.